Hi everyone. Few days to go for the India International Jewellery Show, that is Iijs Signature 2022, from the 18th to the 21st of February at Bombay Exhibition and Convention Centre. I'm on my way to meet Mr. Colin Shah, the chairman of the Gem and Jewellery Export Promotion Council of India, that is GJEPC India, to know what's happening in the upcoming Iijs Signature 2022 B2B show. Come join me, India. Hi, Colin.
Hi, Prernaa.
So, Colin, we've been talking about Iijs for so many years, but let's go back a little into the history of Iijs and how did the idea of signature conceive. So, if you can tell us a little on that.
So Iijs started, 1985, if I recollect, and it started as a much smaller show, 25 booths in the World Trade Center, and it used to be a B2C show. It was B2B plus B2C, but it landed up becoming a consumer show. And then what happened, and this is what I hear from my predecessors, is that the crowds, I guess, grew manifold and the exhibition kept on getting larger. But the industry realized that making it a consumer show wasn't in the best interest of the manufacturers, which are mostly the members of GJEPC. And that's when they moved to Goregaon and converted the show into only a B2B show. And after that's happened, it's grown exponentially over the years, and we are here now, I guess, at the 37th edition.
Wow.
So that's pretty incredible. When it comes to signature, there was a huge demand from the members that they needed a show which was exports only, where they could only get customers which were coming from overseas. So it started in Goa in a smaller format, and I think they did the show in Goa for 3 years, in 2008, 9 and 10. So that's when it started. And then that show grew to exponentially. We had more and more visitors coming from Bangladesh, Nepal, Dubai, US, UK, all over the place. And as the show grew, we decided to move that to NESCO too. Yeah. And here we are at Iijs Signature next week.
Wonderful. So, since you mentioned about NESCO, initially we were supposed to do the show at the Reliance Jewel Center. What made you move it back to NESCO?
So to be honest, the third wave struck, and took all of us by surprise. But when it happened, Geo Center decided to carry out some renovation work which was pending at their end, and they told us that the exhibition center wouldn't be available till the end of March. We went back to our exhibitors, we asked them what do they want to do, whether they want to do the Iijs Signature now or April, and then after doing our internal survey, what came back is that the exhibitors wanted to do a show, and so did our most of the customers all over India and Dubai. They wanted a show, and the only available convention in Bombay at that time was NESCO. Yeah. Because they had freed it up from COVID, from it becoming a COVID center. And fortunately for us, because NESCO is huge, so it can accommodate a much larger exhibitor and visitor base than the Geo Center, we decided to do the show in NESCO.
Wonderful. So I have been attending the Iijs for years now, and NESCO obviously has a lot of different halls. So what kind of jewelry or what all sections will be there in different halls, and how many exhibitors and visitors are we expecting?
Exhibitors will be close to 1,000. That's what we're expecting. Visitors will be 15,000. Normal, Iijs exhibitor base. It always swells up, in the last 1 week. So our registrations already are at 8,000-9,000, and I'm sure we'll cross 15,000 by next week. So in terms of exhibitors and visitors, we are covered. In the different cross sections, we'll have everything that we normally have. We have loose diamonds, we have gemstones, we'll have diamond jewelry, we'll have polki jewelry, of course we'll have plain gold jewelry, and we have machinery too. So there's going to be one hall which is for machinery. So we'll have everyone in our industry, silver jewelry, lab grown diamonds. So I guess it'll be a proper cross section representation from everyone. So
wonderful. So, like you mentioned, there'll be about 14 to 15,000 visitors. What kind of precautions will be taken at the show with the ongoing COVID situation?
So, good question, Prernaa. And since you were there at the Bangalore show, and we have this, I wouldn't say experience, but it is experience in how to manage crowds with proper COVID protocol in place, and making sure that all our exhibitors and visitors are safe as far as COVID is concerned. I think the Bangalore show was a great learning, and we pulled it off with the grace of God, I would say, quite nicely. The COVID situation in the country and in Bangalore was much worse than what it is today in Mumbai. Okay, the cases were, I guess, more than 45, 50,000 at that time. I don't recollect the exact number, but it was very, very high. And this time the situation is, after the third wave, I guess most of the country is vaccinated. In Mumbai, we have the same rules. Everyone must enter with their double vaccination certificate. We'll have antigen tests happening there. So, in terms of COVID protocol, we've done everything possible. Right now, as we speak, and if you go to Goregaon, we're doing like a thorough desanitization of the whole place, on a very Herculean way over the next few days. So I guess the exhibitors and visitors will have nothing to worry as far as COVID is concerned.
So before we move forward, I'm going to ask Colin a quick rapid fire round. And so Colin, tell me, Colin prefers the GJEPC chairman or the jewellery manufacturer?
What I prefer is balance, and that's what I've learned to do, I guess, in these last 18 months as council chairman, is how to balance not only work, council and family, so between everything.
Jewellery to you is, complete the sentence.
Jewellery to me is about expressing one's individuality.
3 trends of jewellery to watch out for this year.
I think minimalism, started a while back, but it's still here to stay. I think gemstones, a lot of gemstones is coming into, I guess, all kinds of jewelry. Everyone post-COVID wants to be colorful. So that, I would say, is a second trend. And thirdly, what I'm seeing very importantly is spirituality. So that's also coming in as a trend in a lot of collections we're seeing globally.
We've spoken about trends. Now let's talk about technology. The technology to watch out for this year.
3D printing, it's only getting better, faster, cheaper. So I guess it's going to maybe make an exponential leap this year, where a lot of factories are now converting and not doing waxing, wax, mold, that whole part, and straight casting from the CAD. So I guess that's a trend to watch out on. It's going to make the whole process faster.
So people who are visiting the show, don't miss going to the machinery section or the booths that are into 3D printing, since Colin has mentioned it, because definitely you're going to find something innovative there. Your most memorable moment as a jewellery manufacturer?
As a jewellery manufacturer, one of my, I guess, proudest moment in the last 25 years has been getting Vendor of the Year from a very prominent retailer against a lot of stiff competition from practically every factory in the industry. That, I would say, was my proudest moment.
Oh, wonderful. So the budget just happened recently. Some of the key factors that the industry should watch out for post the budget.
See, the budget for our industry, post budget, is going to be the e-commerce policy, which is going to come out by the end of June. And secondly, what the FM also announced in a budget speech was the SEZ policy, which will come out by the end of September. I think these two, policies or reforms, call it what you may, will fundamentally change how we're doing jewelry business out of India, because e-commerce will permit, I guess, every retailer, every manufacturer across the country to ship parcels to 200 countries across the world in a cost-effective and speedy way. And the whole SEZ policy, as we know it, it's not been, there's been no reforms on SEZs in the last 15 years. 35% of our exports happen through SEZs. I think it's going to exponentially grow in the next 2-3 years once we have the new policies in place.
Colin, tell me, what is that one message that you would like to say for the new participants at Signature and the budding talent?
The one message that I would like to tell the new participants is Iijs, for me personally, was extremely lucky, and my whole career, my company started because of Iijs, and I'm hoping that the same luck which Iijs has brought not only to Kama but many manufacturers across the country over the last 25 years is also coming right your way. So be lucky, network with, I guess, all the other fellow manufacturers and visitors over there, and have a splendid show.
And before we sign out for today, how does one register for Iijs?
Very easy. Go to the iijs.org website, and everything you need is over there, I would say. So.
All right. Thank you, Colin, for your time. I'm personally looking forward to being at the show, as I do every single year.